Peace, family. Total Flash 2.0. Here and back again. It took me a long time for me to present this video. This is the sequel to, I guess, the final video to the sequel. Only 2 videos for now. Following the Symbology of the Caduceus. So the Symbology of the Caduceus Part 2. Our future and destiny revealed. But the thing about it is only coming from my perspective, what I've created, and what I've desired for all of us, and not just the habitation of this planet, but also of the entire cosmos, and so that we can understand fully why it's so important to study the symbols that were provided by ancestors in the past. Along my journey, I came to the notion and realized, or realized, you can say, with that first eye being open, right? Realized. I realized that the thing that was missing from myself and other people, and what was needed on our planet, was feeling a sense of unity, but not only just based upon yourself and another person, but also within yourself. And the meaning of always living in Caduceus is finding a way to find a union between the duality of who you are. That is why I try my very best to use the yin yang and adapt it to all aspects of my life in every way. And so I feel as if this teaching was provided back then by I feel as if somebody knew this information back then. Who knows, right? That I'm going to present to you. And there's no coincidence that it came to me at this crucial time of our elevation. And I'm not gonna tell you a story, or anything like that. Someone was telling me for a long time to not present this video. It was a voice kept telling me, do not do it, do not do it. And one voice was telling me in my head, do it. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then I constantly had to go. I realized that the only way I was able to share this was when I was able to conquer the one thing that prevented me from ascending to a higher grade. And this information I'm going to share with you is going to be the full totality of the wisdom mindset of who I am. And I'll explain to you for it in entirety. But if you desire elevation, or if you're, it don't have to be based on that, but it has to be based upon basically what you know, what's your intuition, and what you wish for yourself. And if you break down the word intuition, you have N, the letter N, 2, duality, 2 sides, and wish on. So which path will you take? Will you take the path of darkness, light, or will you create the unity between yourself to fully understand what connection I must make in order to move into self-love entirely? What should I refer back to? What should I look at that's outside of me and within me that complements my energy without me even seeking it from any place else? You see, like I talked about in my first video. So this information, this symbology is deep. So deep, man. This is what I created, and this is what the universal prime creator, through many divine, loving, and righteous gods and female gods and male gods have given me. And I feel as that the ancestors returned through me to give you this message. And that it was imperative for us to apply this not only toward civilization, but also to the tribes. So, and then also in the metaphysical aspect. But you know, some people say, "Oh well, it's best to not play both sides." And I'm like, okay, well that means if I can't do that, and that's not righteous to do that. So basically, what it means is that I have to be in the center. I have to come to the point where I have to refer to the left, refer to the right, and be like, okay, what is the right thing to do based on number 48? And notice that you have number 4, fourth dimension, 4 to the 8. 4 plus 4 equals 8. The 8 is also right here, right? Based on this consciousness, we can move into the 8th dimension. And I came to realize that my goal, based on what I just told you, is that I feel as if with this consciousness, we can be able to free our brothers and sisters that are stuck in the 4th dimension. And for it to access the rainbows. You see? And notice when I had made this, when I did this, I went ahead and created a purple ankh, and that's in honor of Prince, by the way. And this is speaking to our brothers out here. How do you become a prince? Okay, how do you become a prince? First, and be humble to the point that you are righteous for the kingship. Okay, it starts with knowing who you are, and also referring back to what is opposite of you, not only within yourself. Okay, that's initial, but also the other gender, which is outside of you. Okay, and that's what, like I said before in another video, twin flame video I did with Michael Jackson and Prince. You know, that archangel aspect. That's a prince-like way, in my mind. And the kingship is really when you overstand your place, and that prince, you notice you have prince and princess, but at the same time, it's coming from, it's the, you know, these words complement each other in the English language. You see, being a prince doesn't mean you have to be feminine. It just means that you have to connect to the feminine aspect. That's what this color purple means. Okay, and you had to turn into being. You had to be blue, right? You had to feel sad and lonely sometimes in order to be a prince. Okay, and usually we had to first be a prince of ourselves or a king of ourselves first before, and see ourselves with high regard and use that in our actions if we desire to evolve. So this is what this is really all about. And by the way, this is going to be a long video, like I said earlier, I think. So it's going to be some great information. I don't want to make it so long, but it's just that I can't help but not put all this in one video. I feel like I'm running out of time in some cases, but it's okay. But here, you notice I have the symbol here. This symbol represents androgyny. This is androgyny for the unity between woman and man. Okay, this is the symbol I had created myself. It's a gift, not only to the woman, but to man as well. But the thing about it is that it only represents union. So I know I put the W there, but it only represents woman, right? The womb man, woman. But also, if you flip it over, it brings the man. Okay, so I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm giving more credit to the feminine aspect. It's just that I realized that majority of everything in this cosmos came from the feminine essence first. And I'm not saying that only to be of opposition, but it's just that it's me just giving homage. Okay, now this was the new design, and basically what this means right here, if you look deeply, right, you see the 8 down there, right, infinity, and you see the serpents, right, down there. And also, you see there's a circle in between the crescent of the moon, okay, and that circle, and in that circle, in that line underneath there, is the Ankh, okay. That's a mixture, all right. And then from there, you have the triangle, which is the pyramid. But don't get it confused. Many pyramids can be in many forms, okay? And this is, keep in mind that this is not only set in stone for everybody, okay? And I'm going to explain that later. But this is, notice that I remember, I don't know if you go back to my Instagram, you saw, it was a god. I forgot the name, okay? But he had the crescent of the moon on his head, and he was blue. He was lonely, and it made me think about the solar eclipse as well, and it's really deep. And I noticed that it was times when I was like in my awakening process when I say designed this when I first designed it initially. I could remember it was times where I went outside, at night, and I saw the crescent moon, and it was at a moment where I felt very enlightened, very I was in shock. And I'm like, why I feel this way? Why I feel shocked? Why I feel this little agitation? It wasn't anxiety. It wasn't like that. It's just, man, there was a it is a thought that came in my head, and then I went away and went ahead and designed this. And I noticed that, when I went to, sleep or whatnot, I felt a divine energy that was very special to me. And it spoke to me, and I want you to let you know that that W right there represents both woman and man. You can instantly flip that over. Okay? All right. This only means androgyny, period. It's just that androgyny rests, okay, when it comes down to us as far as balance is concerned, it rests, okay, with the woman. Okay? All right? It rests with the woman, but it doesn't mean it creates the balance. You see what I'm saying? It's the balance. That's why you have the letter B on the bottom, but it makes the 8 on both sides. So this is when you get past the number 13, okay, as a man. All right. Yeah, and also means the waters. Okay. Remember when I had spoke about the androgynous, what do you call it? The power of parthenogenesis. Okay. What happened? I told you that through the wind or the air, okay, and even the waters, the woman became, she had more clarity, okay, she had more clarity to be able to give birth through parthenogenesis, okay, all right, connecting to the elements, okay. Certain women have are elementals. Okay, I feel like the elemental women, the spiritual women that are rising at this time and waking up, they are in tune with nature spaces and they feel it. I go into nature and I feel it myself, But I feel the force. Now I understand the reason why I was able to come. The reason why I was able to know this information in the spiritual aspect was because I had to connect to my feminine aspects first and find and figure out what was the thing that really gave us all clarity, and what is the thing that is a part of, is really the fabric of our enlightenment. So this also represents the wind and the waters. Okay, the wind and the waters. And I think that force, you could say that wind and water is it could be a masculine force. Okay, it's willpower. Okay, I'm giving homage to the man once again on this. Okay, all right, it's all connected, man. There's no separation with this. It's just that we have to see the interconnection, and this is my purpose, to make the connection. All right, so that's the gift, and I feel as if right now I have a feeling that as the days go by, that the fourth dimension will be healed, and that's my deepest desire. I hope it's your desire. It doesn't mean it has to be, but I came to realize that all that the universal prime creator can change the rules, change the setup, the content of the dimensions, change the dimensions around. You see, it doesn't have to be the same way. You see, and I'm just on my own dimension right now. You see, I'm on a different dimension. You're on a different dimension. But it doesn't mean I'm better than you. It just means that I connected to nature like all the way to the point where I literally learned from a masculine essence and a feminine essence at the same exact time. And that it was the expression of nature that expressed itself to me for me to express who I am about through these symbols to even come about. Okay, so this is my greatest achievement that I really am thankful for, and to Universal Prime Creator for giving me this enlightenment to provide for you. So I see it as a divine gift for that. But I want to move forward, and this is keep in mind this information is not only for me, it's for you. So that's the reason why I'm sharing it. But I drew this out a long time ago, a while back. Same thing like before, the Caduceus androgyny. Okay. All right. And that, notice you had a symbol of a fucus on the two corners. All right. And that a fucus is not only me. A fucus is every male. Okay. Keep that in mind. A fucus is every male. Okay. And that the only way for our pyramid to heal, and for us to heal this planet, is that the pyramid that is the darkest, you can say. I mean, I think there was an account back up in Los Angeles, say about 2 years ago, and I remember when I saw that, and it made me be like, where did it come from? Was it real? Was it really real? And I feel like I was like wondering, like, why is the pyramid so dark? And I came to realize that pyramid may have needed some color. And so that's what I actually designed it for. But it's a vision I had in my mind. It's a vision where there's a vision I have of the pyramid actually coming down and planting itself on the pyramid and healing the pyramid through a secret gene, okay, that we all have, and our offspring most definitely may have, which is the rainbow serpent gene, okay, of Akamari, all right, and if you go back, okay, if you go back to the story, the root of the Yoruba, it talked about that Akamari, he was the only one of the Orishas. I hope I'm not quoting this wrong, but he was the only one of the Orishas that desired for Oshun to stay. And in order for him to bring Oshun back to the planet, to Terrestus, he had to activate his divine love within himself and his urge and his need for her. And she returned and healed the planet. And this is basically a representation and a, a an honor of Akumari. Okay, and that and I think Akumari in my mind is a Fucus himself. But the thing about it is that realize that these names, Akumari or Fucus, the same person. But the thing about it that it's only a title. It's only a rank. Okay? I'm a Fucus. You're a Fucus. You're Akumari. I'm a Akumari in reference to the masculine essence. Okay? With the woman. Okay? All of y'all are Oshun. Okay? All of y'all are Oshun. And this is really in honor of the Naga serpent, most definitely. And this is something very special, okay? This is the union. No more separation, right? No more darkness. See that darkness, that very tip of it, that darkness? See that? Right? Dr. Blair said when what made the pyramids not be used anymore was when the black obsidian crystal touched it and blasted everything that was of everything that was tropical on the planet. And everything was fresh, right? The Nile River was very beautiful compared, and it's still beautiful. It's just that some of it has been eroded. There has been erosion, yeah, over time. Okay, and I feel as if that the pyramid, the power of the pyramid, based on what Dr. Blair presented us, can be able to activate this to make this happen. And I see I know I didn't continue the vision that I had, but I had this vision where the dark pyramid or the black, blame my last, let me blame my last on that. The dark pyramid, okay? All right. The pyramids have been, are activated right now. They are, and the signal that that was emitted was like a purple color. Notice that? If you look back, I think it was purple or pink. It looked like a mixture, right? And notice that I thought that these are both pink and purple. Are really both to me feminine colors. But it's not just a feminine color. It's all, pink is usually a feminine color, right? Purple could be also masculine to, yeah, I can say that. Yeah. And notice that I know I'm thinking deeply with this, but yeah, but purple, like I said earlier, with purple being the union and also the masculine essence of connecting and being nurturing, right? To make this healing a cure. Okay? Notice you had this pink right here on the bottom. And so what I'm trying to get at is that in our lives, it seems like we're always in darkness all the time. But notice is that if we just expand our horizons and know what we desire in life based on truth and self-love, we'll be able to just attract all the colors. We had to access that purple, my brothers. The princehood, the brotherhood, right? Let's get out the darkness. You see? That's the way, right? That's how you're going to access the Akumari way. You see? From the top down, you see? All right? This whole setup, this whole drawing was really all based upon the union, the divine union between woman and man, all the way. And if you don't understand this, feel free to come back, replay it on a certain part of the video, and really it's all simple, to really move into at least understanding and interested and understanding what this is really all about. So, yeah, this is basically how we can do it. This is what I really cherish within my heart. Same as what I showed you earlier. Okay, now this is a very deep segment here, and I have, as we know, this was you could say the symbol of Hermes or Hermes Trismegistus or Thoth. Okay, same God. And that the way I realized is that with this was that this is just compatible with the stories that were told in the past in ancient Kemet, and everything that reminded me of the evolution that we must take, and I guess certain brothers and sisters of souls that may be considered that are us, but these guys that we can learn from in this process, okay, to reach a level of learning, okay, and this really to me represents the light worker. This represents infinity. That once you awaken, right, that awakening puts you in a place where you feel as if that everything is infinite. It's infinite. The possibilities, your realities, you know. And that I want you to know that based upon my last video when I said that death is only the constant that we choose to be in, it only meant that I had this feeling like after you pass away, there is no hell. Unless there are no regrets. You see? There's no burdens, of what you've done. And I became free upon the Caduceus once I came to realize that nobody's perfect. We all are on our own state of evolution. And that through learning is the only way we can evolve based on what the teachings that were given to us prior, not just from our parents, okay, yes, but also from those that came before. That is why the ancestors always have been in my mind. And it seemed like that in most cases I've attracted them to me so much to the point that they actually came into my life, and that I've attracted bad ancestors. Okay, let's be honest. All your ancestors are not good. I realized that, but it was not. I came to realize that once I thought about just the infinity part of it. I came to realize that I had to really cherish the inner world all the way, and it was hard. It was hard to cherish the inner world when all you saw was the opposite of what you saw. You felt like you saw the opposite. But the thing about it is that there had to be a sense of control. And I think that the reason why it's hard for us to think in the ways of the infinity based on the Caduceus is that we, like I said earlier, we may have regrets, or we may end up feeling like we lack something, and we let that consume our mind so much to the point, and it's happened along my journey, that you tend to forget what is the benefits or the advantages of that which happened. Remember that everything that that may seem to happen to you is happening for you. You see, and with this symbol, it's all about learning from experience. Like I said in the video, okay, before. Through learning, we be able to evolve, okay? If we know that we are on the right path. If you're on the right path, that means the Universal Primal Creator is teaching us. That's why we have to pay close attention. And yet, for me, I take it seriously, right? so serious. I pay so close attention to the outside world, and I go within myself, not just in meditation, but in any facet of your standard meditation, which is in a lotus pose. There's different forms, and I actually realized that I had to find things that complemented my energy based on this. And it's so much detail on this. I know I don't want to really go over it because it's going to take so long, but it'll just make things so complex, and I don't want you to really focus on that. But this is the symbol, and I feel as if that most definitely our ancestors forward. Well, I'm not sure if it's accurate, but I feel as if maybe a particular ancestor in the cosmos of us may have forged this particular, I guess, forged this symbol for us to learn, and most definitely he is very special. But let's continue. The second one, okay, this is for learning, okay, but the second one, okay, is healing. How are we going to heal ourselves from that learning, right? Sometimes we learn something, we may learn something, and then we have to make many mistakes to correct it. Sometimes it doesn't take one mistake. We got to constantly get it right. Once we know in our mind that it was something that was not in alignment with who we were, you see, and this has to do with basically the dark side, okay, healing the dark side, okay. This is going back to Caduceus all the way. Caduceus believed, he knew that healing was necessary in order for change to happen, and it wasn't going to be from having a war, it wasn't going to be from fighting, it wasn't going to be from manipulation. So how will we move into a place where we can heal? Along my journey, I realized that we have to heal ourselves before we have to heal others. But when I'm talking about that death is only the consciousness that we choose to be in, is that we have to fully get to a point where we have to say, wait, hold on. I have to rethink my actions. I have to say, wait. There are no sides. No. There are no sides. Okay? And that, based upon that, I came to realize that the reason why this symbol exists only because we were, as human beings, we were seen as not ever having morals. Knowing that one of our earliest ancestors was one of the Homo habilis, or I think it was one of the earliest Homo sapiens. They saw spirits, but I'm not sure. But they was in nature, but I'm not sure if they couldn't speak. But I'm not sure if they were chaotic or not. They probably were. They didn't. They were unconscious, right? And so with that said, I feel like if we move into an area of spirituality, I feel I have up to a 95% belief in me that they had a moral standpoint based on the fact they had a connection to nature. You see, and most of our lives have changed thus far in this paradigm based upon nature itself. You see, and so this symbol only actually, it speaks a lot to me based upon the evolution we must take to realize that we cannot ever, we have to connect to multiple forms of energy like Krishna did. Yes, like Krishna did. And that's a label, okay? A title. All these are titles. Are ranks. All right? That's all it is. All right? And that the true crown comes to the man once he overstands his balance as for the masculine principle. You see? And the other one, the first one, is the first initial one. This is the one that, the other one, the original one is, the divine and feminine and masculine energy. Okay, so the first Caduceus that was presented before, right, was really was based this for both man and woman to learn. Okay, overstanding their evolution initially, learning, and using that learning to move into healing. You see, and that I think this is how we move into wisdom. I'm gonna explain this later, but I don't want to get off topic. But this is an evolutionary process based upon this, and I know that this concept, like I said earlier, is a big one because this has to do with divine masculinity. Okay, divine masculine energy. What is its true nature? And I have Anubis here. I have Anpu, Saturn. Okay, there's an all-male race that is of Saturn, and they benefit. They are basically the father times. Okay, if you're a Capricorn, that's male, right? You are the father times. Okay, there's a such thing as saying a mother time. Okay, for the females from Capricorn. Same as me. I came to realize that I'm a dual. I didn't know that before, but I came to know that. And I think that's how they make this connection. And this is how we move into notice how you have all these guys listed, okay? This is only based on someone else's imagination. Keep in mind. These actual guys were made up by our ancestors that created all the stories. These were stories that were told to symbolize what this was, and what symbols. It actually brought the stories, okay, the imagination. They usually use stories and imagination to create order, to be cohesive with chaos. All right, and within the chaos, the symbols, you need those symbols in there, right, to create order. Right? I'm actually showing you I think the best way to create order, and the best way for me if I have a family in the future and so forth, is teaching the ancient wisdom and imagination and stories to my children, right? And implementing order based upon that. You see? That's the way you do it. And that's how we move into forgiveness, how we learn how to forgive other people. Now, I know, right? We truly, like, it's not good to constantly take shots all the time and have people mess with you, bully you all the time. And I came to realize that once we heal within ourselves, we can actually forgive other people. I came to realize the only way for me, not only for me, for everybody, but this is only my perception, once again, is that the only way we move into forgiveness is that fully understanding the other person's state of evolution. And I think that's the reason why, in most cases, and you don't have to even speak to the person. You don't have to talk to the person if they're bothering you and so forth. But that don't mean that you have to give the person hell, all right, for eternity. Okay? You don't have to do that to make them have the message. You see, a Nubai or Anubis, He was an angel. All these names were angels, man. These were us. You see? What are some more? Keep in mind that some of these names may end up being you. Who knows? When I look at, but I see myself in all of them, though. Okay, and that's okay. That's okay for everybody. See yourself in high regard, and realize that we're not better than anybody else. It's just that we are on our own state of evolution, and that the only way, we move into, altercation or things of that nature is that we first we actually follow one code, and I think that code is based upon protecting our family, protecting our brother, our sister, not desiring, not giving away our soul, right? And harming someone else. And that's what I really learned in my journey. And I feel as if that DOG, right? Despising other gods, okay? That only means that you're actually activating the dark side aspect so strong to make it hard for another person to learn, to move into learning initially. So you're actually putting them back down here when you move into that. But instead of doing that, you might as well show them the doorway. Okay? The doorway. And funny, I feel as if that, and it's not really funny, like hilarious, but it's a thought. What if every night when we go to sleep, right, we travel the cosmos, if based upon when our soul travels, and and I guess and basically if our enemy is the person we see in the mirror, okay, then that means that basically the only enemy is our own self, and that every single day we live, there may be a judgment that we have, and I guess that judgment, I think our soul judges our spirit, right? And our soul shows us what may happen in the future if we don't get something right, okay? And I think that's why Dr. Blair said that we have to do our very best to cherish each day and always love one another. And I feel as if that along my journey, when it came down to me evolving based on the Caduceus, all right, I came to know that each and every day was indeed, every single day is a lesson of learning. And that the purpose of a Nubai or Anubis or Ampu, he desired to grade many spirits for the spirit birth into atmosphere, okay, and beyond, based upon the forgiving aspect, showing them. It was never based upon, for example, putting you in a scenario where you let go of your conscious self, let go of who you are and what you know of your values, and to use that against you. Let your values go against you when you go to the other side. That's, I think, in what do you call it? It was a song. It's a song by J. Cole, right? J. Cole, right? And it was a voice of a the brother in the song with him said that he said that what was it? He said when he is in tune with the Most High, he realizes that his lack of awareness of the other side, right? That's deep. Death is only the consciousness that we choose to be in. It's the truth. And I feel as if that we all, no matter if we don't really have to have any laws, shouldn't even, may not even need to exist based on this truth. You know, it's based on common sense, but at the same time, we have to apply this common sense that is logical based upon what we feel. And that's the reason why I think why laws are made, because certain people create certain laws that say you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. It becomes into so much of control where you feel like that you gotta be right, you gotta be right all the time. You can't be wrong. You know, if you do something wrong, this bad thing gonna end up happening to you. You know, and it's like not actually feeling. And I remember what was it? I remember when I thought about what is the true essence of an angel. What is the true essence of an angel or the power of an angel? I feel like angels, if they actually literally came down from the heavens and help us down here, which would be our ancestors,